And you ever ask yourself why some people push through every obstacle while others crumble at just enough difficult? What's the difference between the ones who succeed and the ones who just talk about it? It's not talent, it's not luck, it's consistency. Consistency is the bridge between your dreams and reality. You see, every day is a battle. And if you're not showing up, if you're not putting in the work, even when you're tired, even when it's hard, then you're not living up to your potential. So let me ask you, are you ready to break the cycle of failure and make consistency your weapon? Because that's what separates the winners from the dreamers. So welcome everyone on our new video. Dear audience, consistency is the foundation of all greatness. It is the quiet power behind every success, the silent force that propels ordinary people to achieve extraordinary things. It is not flashy, nor does it demand attention, but its impact is undeniable. Without consistency, dreams remain just that, dreams. They never materialize into reality because they lack the steady effort required to bring them to life. Being consistent is about showing up every day regardless of how you feel, the challenges you face, or the doubts that creep into your mind. It's about committing to the process, even when results are not immediate. Consistency is not dependent on motivation because motivation is fleeting. Some days you feel inspired and some days you don't. But consistency doesn't rely on how you feel in the moment. It relies on your decision to keep going no matter what. Dear listeners, when you are consistent, you build momentum. It's like pushing a heavy boulder uphill. At first, the effort seems immense and progress is slow. But as you keep pushing, the boulder begins to move with less resistance. Each step forward builds on the last, and over time, what once felt impossible becomes manageable, even natural. That's the power of consistency. It transforms the seemingly insurmountable into something achievable through steady, braided effort. Consistency develops habits, and habits shape who you are. Every action you take, no matter how small, sends a message to yourself about the kind of person you are. When you consistently choose to work on your goals, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who follows through. Over time, these small choices compound into major changes. Consistency, therefore, is not just about what you achieve, it's about who you become in the process. Results take time. This is one of life's hardest truths to accept, but it's also one of the most important. But in a world that constantly promises instant gratification, the value of patience and perseverance is often overlooked. But anything worth achieving takes time. Whether it's building a career, mastering a skill, or improving your health, there are no shortcuts. Consistency bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Each step, no matter how small, brings you closer to destination. Dear listeners, when you commit to consistency, you develop resilience. Life will not always be easy and challenges are inevitable. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, when the obstacles seem too great and the path forward feels unclear. But consistency teaches you to endure. It shows you that progress is not always linear and setbacks are not the end of the road. They are simply part of the journey. By continuing to show up, even when it's hard, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than your circumstances. Consistency also builds trust not just with others, but with yourself. When you consistently honor your commitments, you develop a sense of reliability. People know they can count on you, and more importantly, you know you can count on yourself. This self-trust is invaluable. It creates a foundation of confidence that empowers you to tackle bigger challenges and pursue greater goals. It's easy to be consistent when things are going well, but true consistency is tested in moments of difficulty. When the initial excitement fades, when progress slows, and when doubts arise, that is when consistency matters most. It's in these moments that you separate yourself from those who give up too soon. Anyone can start something, but few people have the discipline to see it through to the end. Consistency is what sets achievers apart from dreamers. Dear listeners, consistency does not mean perfection. It's important to understand that you will make mistakes. You will have days when you fall short, when you miss a step, or when things don't go as planned. But consistency is not about never failing, it's about always getting back up. It's about learning from your mistakes and continuing forward. The key is to keep moving, Even if progress feels slow or insignificant, over time, these small, consistent efforts add up to something remarkable. Being consistent also gives you clarity. When you consistently work towards a goal, you gain a better understanding of what works and what doesn't. You have the opportunity to adjust your approach, refine your strategies, and improve your methods. Without consistency, you lack the data and experience needed to make meaningful progress. It's through consistent effort that you discover your strengths, identifiers for improvement, and ultimately achieve mastery. Success is not reserved for the most talented or the most intelligent. It belongs to those who are willing to show up day after day into the work. Consistency levels the playing field, allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results by simply refusing to quit. It's not about making massive leaps overnight. It's about taking small, deliberate steps every single day. The journey of consistency is not always glamorous, but it is always rewarding. The effort you put in today may not yield immediate results, but over time, it will pay off in ways you can't even imagine. And the key is to trust the process. Have faith that your consistent actions will lead to the outcomes you desire. I remember greatness is not achieved in a single moment. It's built through a series of small, consistent actions over time. Dear listeners, when you are consistent, you inspire others. Your dedication, discipline, and perseverance set an example for those around you. People notice when you consistently show up, and your actions have the power to motivate and encourage others to do the same. By being consistent, you not only improve your own life, but you also positively impact the lives of those around you. Consistency is a choice. It's a decision you make every day to prioritize your goals, to push through challenges, and to stay committed to the path you've chosen. It requires effort, discipline, and determination, but the rewards are worth it. Consistency is what transforms dreams into reality, potential into achievement, and effort into excellence. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. So choose to be consistent. Choose to show up, even when it's hard. Choose to believe in the power of small, repeated actions. Choose to trust the process, embrace the journey, and keep moving forward. Because when you choose consistency, you choose success. Dear listeners, consistency builds momentum, creating a force that propels you forward with increasing ease and power. And imagine pushing a heavy boulder up a hill. At first, it feels impossible. Every ounce of energy is spent just getting it to budge. But as you keep pushing, something remarkable happens. The boulder begins to move steadily, and soon it becomes easier to push. This is the essence of momentum. It starts with small, consistent efforts that feel challenging, but over time, those efforts build on each other and progress becomes natural. Momentum transforms the struggle of starting into the ease of continuing. The hardest part of any journey is often the beginning of each jumper's first steps, where doubts loom large and the results seem invisible. But by showing up consistently, you start to create patterns of success. Each small win motivates you to take another step, and the steps begin to add up. Over time, the energy you once needed to push forward diminishes, replaced by the rhythm of progress. Think of momentum as a snowball rolling downhill. At first, it's just a handful of snow, but with every turn, it gathers more snow, growing larger and moving faster. Consistency is what keeps the snowball rolling. The same principle applies to your goals. The more you show up, the more progress compounds. Suddenly, what once seemed possible feels within reach, not because the goal became smaller, because you became stronger and more equipped to achieve it. Dear listeners, momentum isn't magic, it's the result of persistent action. When you commit to consistency, you create a self-sustaining cycle of effort and reward. The initial push might be the hardest part, but once you get going, the process becomes more manageable. Every small action adds energy to your journey, making the next step easier. Consistency is what takes you from struggling to thriving, from starting to succeeding. It's the engine that keeps your progress alive. Consistency has the power to transform fleeting efforts into lasting habits that shape your destiny. Every time you repeat an action, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you want to become. It's not about massive changes overnight, but small, repeated choices that pave the way for transformation. Imagine the simplicity of brushing your teeth. It's a habit so ingrained that you barely think about it. The same can be true for the actions that lead to your success if you embrace consistency. Habits are formed by repetition, and repetition is fueled by consistency. The more you perform a task, the more natural it becomes. At first, new habits might feel awkward or forced, but over time they embed themselves into your daily routine. This shift happens almost without you noticing, as the brain rewires itself to favor what is familiar. Consistency acts as the glue that holds this process together, ensuring that your actions become second nature instead of occasional efforts. Dear listeners, think of habits as seeds planted in the soil of your life. Consistency is the water and sunlight that allow them to grow. Without consistent care, those seeds wither away. But when you nurture them daily, they flourish into strong, life-sustaining routines. The best part, once a habit is formed, it requires far less effort to maintain. What once felt like a challenge now feels automatic, freeing your energy for bigger aspirations. Through consistency, habits become your silent allies. They work for you even when motivation fades or distractions arise. These habits, built brick by brick, create a foundation for success that stands firm against the chaos of life. Consistency ensures that your efforts don't fade away with time, but instead build momentum and structure for the future. It's not about willpower every day, it's about the habits you've built to carry you forward. Results take time, and this truth often separates those who achieve their goals from those who achieve up too soon. In a world that celebrates instant gratification, patience becomes a rare and powerful virtue. It's easy to feel frustrated when the results you want don't appear immediately. But remember, the best things in life are worth waiting for. Just as a tree doesn't grow to full height in a single day, your efforts need time to take root and flourish. On the process of achieving meaningful results is like planting a garden. You sow the seeds, water them diligently, and wait. For days, weeks, or even months, there may be no visible signs of growth. Yet beneath the surface, the seeds are transforming, sprouting roots, and preparing to break through. This unseen progress is vital, and it's the same with your goals. Every action you take, even when it feels like nothing is happening, is laying the groundwork for success. Dear listeners, impatience often tricks people into quitting right before their breakthrough. They abandon their dreams because they can't see immediate evidence of their hard work paying off. But the reality is, results compound over time. Progress might be invisible at first, but with consistent effort, the change becomes undeniable. One day, the results will appear so dramatically that people will think they happened overnight, when in reality, it was the product of your dedication over time. The journey to success demands patience, trust, and faith in the process. It's not about racing to the finish line. It's about steadily moving forward, step by step. Understand that every moment of waiting is strengthening you, teaching you resilience, and building your capacity to sustain success when it arrives. When you embrace the idea that results take time, you'll find the perseverance needed to stay the course and reap the rewards of your unwavering commitment. Consistency is the forge where resilience is crafted. Every time you choose to stay committed, even when it's hard, you strengthen your ability to endure challenges. Our life is full of obstacles, and it's easy to give up when things get tough, but consistency teaches us to persevere, to face discomfort, and to keep going even progress feels invisible. With every small, deliberate action, you build the emotional and mental toughness needed to overcome setbacks and keep moving forward. Dear listeners, challenges don't break the consistent, they shape them. When you consistently show up, even in the face of adversity, you train yourself to handle difficulties without losing focus. Each moment of persistence in the face of a challenge becomes a lesson, each failure a stepping stone. Over time, you begin to see that setbacks aren't the end of the road, but part of the process. Consistency becomes the armor that protects you from discouragement, allowing you to rise stronger with every fall. Resilience isn't something you're born with. It's something you earn through consistent effort. Imagine a tree weathering storms year after year. Its roots grow deeper, its trunk stronger, Not because it avoids the storms, but because it faces them repeatedly. Well, the same happens to you when you commit to consistency. Each day you push through difficulties, you're fortifying your foundation, preparing yourself to face even greater challenges with confidence and strength. Through consistency, you discover your true capacity. It reveals that you're capable of enduring more than you thought possible and achieving what once felt out of reach. The storms of life no longer feel overwhelming because you faced them before, again and again. Consistency fosters resilience by transforming struggles into stepping stones, proving to you that no matter how hard things get, you have the strength to keep going. Dear listeners, consistency is the cornerstone of self-trust, the belief in your ability to follow through on your commitments. Every time you honor your word, even in the smallest ways, you strengthen the foundation of trust within yourself. And think about how you feel when someone repeatedly lets you down. It's hard to rely on them. The same applies to how you see yourself. When you fail to stay consistent, doubt creeps in. But when you show up day after day, you prove to yourself that you can be counted on. And that's a powerful transformation. Trusting yourself is one of the most liberating feelings you can experience. It gives you the confidence to set bigger goals and take risks because you know you'll follow. Consistency acts like a promise kept. Every time you take action, you're reaffirming that promise. Over time, this builds a cycle of reliability where self-doubt fades, replaced by a quiet assurance that you're what's necessary. This trust doesn't come overnight, but through repeated actions that align with your intentions. When you trust yourself, external validation becomes less important. You no longer seek approval from others to feel worthy because your sense of confidence comes from within. Consistency is the silent proof that you're capable. It's not about being perfect, but about showing up, especially when it's inconvenient or difficult. But this dedication sends a clear message to your myself: I am dependable and I can handle what comes my way. The trust you build with yourself becomes unshakable, even in uncertain times. Dear listeners, the beauty of self-trust is that it carries over into every area of your life. It strengthens your relationships, fuels your ambitions, and makes you resilient in the face of challenges. Consistency is the bridge that connects who you are now with who you aspire to be. Each step you take builds that bridge stronger, reminding you that you're not just dreaming of change, you're making it happen. You can trust yourself to see it through. Consistency is the defining line between those who achieve their dreams and those who merely imagine them. And dreamers often have big ideas and grand visions, but without action, those dreams remain intangible. Achievers, on the other hand, take steady, deliberate steps toward their goals, turning their visions into reality. It's not talent or luck that sets them apart, it's their commitment to showing up day after day, regardless of obstacles or excuses. Consistency transforms desire into results. Dreaming is effortless, but achieving demands persistence. Many start strong, fueled by excitement, but falter when the novelty wears off or challenges arise. Achievers understand that success isn't about bursts of energy, but sustained effort. They keep moving forward when others pause or give up. Each consistent action, no matter how small, compounds over time, creating momentum that leads to breakthroughs. While dreamers wait for the perfect moment, achievers create it through their relentless dedication. Dear listeners, consistency is the invisible force that multiplies effort into progress. Achievers aren't always the most gifted, they're the most persistent. I embrace the grind, knowing that every repetition brings them closer to their goal. Meanwhile, dreamers often underestimate the power of discipline, mistaking fleeting motivation for progress. Achievers rise above this by anchoring their actions in habits, not emotions. They understand that while inspiration may fade, consistency remains. Consistency is the great equalizer. It proves that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things through steady effort. It's not about who starts the race with the most fanfare, but who keeps running step after step long after others have stopped. Inconsistency is what separates those who watch their dreams slip away from those who turn them into accomplishments. If you want to leave the realm of dreaming and enter the world of achieving, consistency is the path you must walk. Consistency is the quiet architect of growth and refinement. shaping you into a better version of yourself with every effort you make. Growth doesn't happen in bursts, it unfolds through steady, deliberate actions. Each time you show up, you learn something new, whether it's mastering a skill, uncovering a weakness, or discovering a more efficient way to proceed. Consistency ensures that every day becomes a step forward. No matter how small, those steps compound into significant progress over time. Dear listener, but it's through consistent effort that you gain clarity. When you repeatedly engage in a process, you begin to notice patterns, what works, what isn't, and where adjustments are needed. This ongoing refinement is only possible when you commit to showing up, even when you don't feel like it. But growth isn't about getting it perfect the first time, it's about learning from each attempt and making the next one better. Consistency provides the structure for this learning, creating a feedback loop that constantly sharpens your strategies. Now, to think of consistency as a sculptor shaping a block of marble. Each strike of the chisel seems small and insignificant on its own, but to great other, they create something extraordinary. Without consistent effort, the roughness of your abilities and knowledge remain untouched. But with dedication, you carve away the unnecessary, revealing a masterpiece hidden within. Growth and refinement aren't about huge leaps, they're about embracing the process and trusting that small, consistent efforts will lead to transformation. Consistency also gives you the right to experiment and take risks because you know that every attempt, even if it fails, brings you closer to mastery. It teaches you patience and humility, reminding you that progress isn't linear but deeply rewarding. By committing to the journey, you allow yourself to evolve naturally, shedding old limitations and becoming the person capable of achieving what once felt impossible. Growth and refinement flourish when consistency is the guiding principle. Dear listeners, success is not reserved for the naturally gifted. It belongs to those who are willing to persist day in and day out through all challenges and setbacks. Talent might give you a head start, but it's persistence that carries you across the finish line. Think about the countless stories of people who didn't start with extraordinary cracks to victory. It's not the person with the most talent who wins, but the one who keeps showing up, even when the road gets tough, who eventually reaps the rewards. Talent can create an illusion of ease, but it doesn't guarantee long-term success. When the going gets tough, when obstacles emerge, when doubts creep in, talent alone will not carry you forward. It's the relentless commitment to improvement, the willingness to keep going even when the results seem distant, that determines your ultimate success. Persistence builds resilience, and over time, resilience becomes far more valuable than raw talent. Success is built on the foundation of consistency, not innate ability. Talent can be a gift, but it's the daily grind, the persistence that refines and hones that gift into something extraordinary. Without persistence, talent remains untapped potential, dormant and untested. It's only through continuous effort that what's inherent in you and turn it into a skill, a craft, or an achievement that stands the test of time. The people who achieve greatness are not the ones who were born with the most natural ability, but the ones who worked the hardest, who didn't stop when they're going out tough, but despite the odds. True success is achieved by those who know that talent is just the beginning. It's persistence, the ability to show up day after day, that unlocks the potential within. And no matter how talented you are, if you're not willing to put in the effort over time, you will never reach your full potential. Talent might get you noticed, but it's persistence that earns you the right to succeed. Keep going, keep pushing, and success will follow. Dear listeners, inconsistency has a powerful ripple effect, inspiring others in ways you might not even realize. When people witness someone showing up day after day, pushing through challenges and sticking to the path, it ignites something within them. They see your persistence, your dedication, and it sparks a belief that if you can do it, so can they. In a world full of distractions and excuses, the power of consistency stands out as a beacon of what is possible when someone refuses to quit. Your actions, no matter how small they seem, can inspire someone else to take their first step toward their own goals. It's easy to talk about success, to give advice, but consistency proves that you're not just talking the talk, you're walking the walk. When others see you face difficulties and keep moving forward, they understand that success isn't about luck or circumstance, it's about determination and resilience. Consistency shows that even the toughest challenges can be overcome if you stay committed. Your dedication becomes a living example of the results of hard work, motivating others to adopt the same mindset of minds and push through their own barriers. Often, people are waiting for a sign, waiting for the perfect moment to act. When they see someone consistently working toward their dreams, they begin to realize that the key to progress isn't waiting, it's taking action. You become that sign for them. Your consistency serves as a reminder that greatness is not built on grand gestures, but on everyday effort. The example you set through consistent action empowers others to pursue their own paths with the same level of commitment and persistence. Dear listeners, the impact of your consistency extends far beyond your own journey. The people around you take note of your work ethic, your discipline, and your ability to stick with it. And they begin to ask themselves, if they can do it, why can't I? Whether you realize it or not, your consistency creates a ripple effect, inspiring those around you to take action, stay focused, and be consistent in their own pursuits. A lesson is clear: persistence not only brings you closer to your goals, but lights the way for others to follow. Dreams remain just that, dreams, unless we put in the effort to make them real. It's consistency that acts as the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. Every day that you show up, that you take action, no matter how small, you're building a foundation for those dreams to take shape. The process isn't instant, and it's not always easy, but through consistent effort, your vision begins to manifest. You stop waiting for the perfect opportunity and start creating it, turning what once seemed distant into something tangible. The path from dreamer to achiever is paved with consistent actions. You may not see immediate results, but each step forward adds to the momentum, slowly chipping away at what I once felt impossible. Dreams are often filled with uncertainty, with doubts about whether they will ever come true. Our consistency silences that doubt, turning the abstract into the concrete. Every time you take a step, you reinforce the idea that your dreams are within reach, and with each small victory, they come closer to becoming a reality. Dear listeners, consistency isn't about doing something perfectly every time. It's about showing up with dedication. Even when progress feels slow or insignificant, or dreams are big, they're challenging, and they require persistence to achieve. But with consistency, the impossible becomes possible. What once seemed like a distant fantasy transforms into something you can touch, see, and experience. It's the quiet, everyday actions that bring your dreams to life. She's shaping them into a reality that reflects the work and effort you've invested. In the end, dreams without consistency remain wishes. But when you commit to consistent action, you unlock the door to achievement. The difference between dreaming and doing is showing up every day, no matter what, and trusting that your efforts will pay off. Consistency turns uncertainty into certainty, transforming dreams into tangible results that you can proudly claim as your own. It's not magic, it's persistence, and it's the key that opens the key to everything you've ever wanted. In conclusion, consistency is the silent force that propels us toward our greatest achievements. It's not the grand gestures or fleeting bursts of effort that lead to success, but the quiet, determined steps we take each day. Consistency builds momentum, refines our skills, strengthens our resilience, and cultivates a deep trust in ourselves. It is the difference between dreaming and doing, between wanting and achieving. The path may not always be easy, but through persistence, we turn obstacles into opportunities and challenges into stepping stones. As you embrace consistency, remember that it's not about perfection, it's about showing up time and time again with unwavering dedication. The results will follow, and your dreams will no longer be just dreams, but tangible realities. Keep moving forward, stay committed, and trust that your consistency will transform your life in ways you never imagined. Dear listeners, thank you for taking the time to listen and engage with this message. I hope it has inspired you to embrace the power of consistency in your journey towards success. Remember, every small effort counts, And persistence is the key to unlocking your fullest potential. Keep pushing forward and never underestimate the power of showing up every day. Goodbye for now, and may your path be filled with determination, growth, and unwavering consistency. Stay focused, stay strong, and keep moving towards your dreams.